I'm going to try to keep these training videos really short, like under 10 minutes, because what ends up happening is I get kind of caught up in talking to the camera instead of focusing on my workout and getting my sets in and keeping my rest times down. Because when I start talking to the camera, I'll start talking for about like 3 to 5 minutes, if not longer. So this is just going to be more kind of like raw workout footage. I'm not going to show the whole set or everything. I'm just going to be very basic just to show you guys what I'm doing. I'm doing a podcast once a week. It'll be out on Sundays. And I'm going to be actually talking about the workouts, what I'm doing for the workouts, my dieting and everything. So if you want to know more detail and depth of what's going on of my everyday kind of deal with my diet, my training, and what I'm actually doing, check out the podcast on Sundays. They'll be about 30 minutes to an hour long for those of you interested. And I'm just going to be recapping everything for the whole week, my diet, my weight loss, my progression in the gym, everything. Tonight, the workout's very basic. I'm doing 8 sets of box squats with a cambered bar, and then I'm going to do 4 sets of belt squats, 4 sets of hack squats, and then I'm moving on to calves. And I'm going to do some dumbbell calf raises and some standing calf raises. Very basic, very simple. I was going to put my squat shorts on for these, my briefs. I haven't done that in a while. I was going to use them. I'm not going to show every single rep either. I'm going to keep the work. I'm going to keep it down, but I think next week I might put my briefs back on because I kind of got something going on in my hip, a little aggravation in my hip. So I think, like I said, I might put my briefs back on to kind of help stabilize my hips a little bit whenever I'm doing these. So the 3 main things that I do whenever I'm training my quads, regardless if I'm powerlifting or bodybuilding, is I do 3 different stance. I like to do a wide stance, which is the belt squat. I like to do a medium stance, which is the squat, the box squat. And then I do a close stance, which is going to be the hack squats. So I like to stand in 3 different positions whenever I do squats. So when I train my quads, I want to make sure I don't have any weak areas in my legs. If you guys want to see more and know more about what's going on, subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on and catch that podcast, because it's not just me on there. I got other people on there with me, and we're talking about what we're doing on our diet, what our weight loss is doing, because right now there's 4 of us and we're cutting weight. And we go over our diet and our weekly progress. Like, I'm carb cycling with intermittent fasting. They're doing other style diets too. So that way we talk about what our weight is at the beginning of the week after our high carb day, or what our weight does during the week, what it's doing towards the end of the week, how we're feeling, how our workouts are progressing. We go over all of it. And then we talk about other things too, like training techniques, tips to stay to your diet, ways to keep from cheating or falling off, ways to stay motivated, ways to call yourself out if you find that you're just kind of like not really pushing hard. Like, we talk about a lot of stuff on there. So I like to do these training videos, but I just can't justify spending a lot of time doing the camera work and talking in the gym whenever I have a podcast where I can sit there and talk for as long as I want, as about as much as I want, with anything and everything, questions from you guys and everything I can answer and talk about. If y'all leave comments in the question, and then you leave comments and questions, we'll talk about them and we'll bring them up and we'll discuss them on the podcast. I just can't spend that much time between sets talking to the camera. I got to focus on my training. I have a goal, and we talk about what my actual goal is for next year on the podcast as well. So there's a little bit of what I do for my leg night. This is what I've done for my quads. When I was powerlifting, the routine would be slightly different than what it is right now, but this is basically what I've done for many years. I do, like I said, a wide stance, a medium stance, and a closed stance with 3 different variations. Sometimes I'll add in lunges, sometimes I'll do leg extensions. Just depends on what the program is calling, how my knees and my hips are aching, but my knees are feeling pretty good. My hips are feeling pretty healthy. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I have a little bit of arthritis in my hip. So that's kind of like bugging me a little bit today, but honestly, once I warmed up on squats, it was a non-issue. They didn't bother me at all anymore. So I would love to record more of my workout, and I love to record talking in the gym and talking to you guys and making it feel more personal. But to be honest, like I can't truly focus on my workout and my training and the set to come when I'm focused on trying to think of stuff to talk about or things to bring up or mention or whatever. It's too distracting. And I don't fault anyone for wanting to record their workouts, wanting to record their sets and their progress in the gym. Like I like doing that too. But right now, my goal is to compete in bodybuilding, and I cannot focus on recording and talking to the camera and my workout and know that I'm giving it 100% to my training. I have to give it 100% to my training. So for those of you who have been subscribed for a while, for those of you who are new to the channel, if you guys subscribe and like, and then turn your notifications on and catch that podcast, I'm telling you, I'm going over every single thing we're doing during the week, and not just me. 3 other people are going to be in there. We're talking about, we got a complete beginner who's new, and then we have Richard, who's been losing weight. You know, Jen, she's the newbie, and she's new to it, but she's learning and she's going. Richard, he's been here for a while, and my wife has been off and on. But like I said, we're all on pretty much different diets, and we're all kind of training the same, but slightly different. So it's 4 different bodies with 4 different styles, making progress for the next 11 weeks to come, because this is week 2. But anyways, I'm going to end the video here, guys. Thanks for watching. And if y'all have any questions, please leave them in the comments. And what I'll do is I'll write them down or whatever. I'll make notes of them. And when we do the podcast, we'll bring them up and we'll talk about the things that y'all ask us or things y'all have questions about. Even if it's just like, why are you doing it like that? Or what's the point of that? Or how come you don't do this or that or that? Or have you ever tried this? Or have you ever tried that? Or, well, what do you think? Like, I'll do my best to answer your questions. And then depending on how good the question is, I might go into detail about it and do research and then bring up the answers, hopefully, to the questions that you guys are asking. But that's it for this, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.